I'd like to welcome everyone who joined this meeting. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Evening, sir.
Sir.
Evening.
Thank you for joining us. And Lucas, right here, will lead us through the meeting. You may initiate the meeting, Lucas.
All right, thank you. Today, we will discuss the maternal mortality rate in the US. Each person is allowed to give any kind of suggestion. But keep in mind, please raise your hand before opening your mic, or I will be the moderator during this meeting.
Okay, so the goal of this meeting is to find the best solution by collecting various variables, such as advantages and disadvantages. Your opinion will open another path to the answer. So, I encourage you all to give any kind of suggestion or opinion that is related to this topic.
Since everyone is here, let's get started. Please behave. Maternal and infant mortality is beginning to be concerning. We are talking about 13 Hispanic women who died for every 100,000 of Hispanic women who gave birth. 11.4 Black women died for every 1,000 in a year. 42.8 women died.
We suspect that racism is often a problem in the United States, but let's keep in mind, racism is not just about black and white. It's all about who have the better rights to get a better service. Yes, Mrs.
Yes,
Diva?
Miss Diva, please carry on.
Permission to speak. Racism is not a new thing in the US. Black women are 3.3 times more prone to pregnancy-related death. With this, we need to solve the most basic issues in this policy, prioritizing public, the color, and their ability to solve the disparity in the maternal and infant mortality.
All right, you're saying that we need to adjust racism in the healthcare workforce to enforce equality.
Correct.
Yes, please, Miss Salsa.
Racism often happens in the civilian rather than healthcare workforce. This is due to diversity in education backgrounds. Training the healthcare workforce is a thing, but suppressing racism in the public is a thing too.
All right, thank you, Miss Salsa. Go ahead, Miss April.
Although racism drives racial disparity in maternal and infant mortality, it is worth mentioning that significant underinvestment in family support and healthcare programs is contributing to the concentrated trend in the maternal and infant health. In recent decades, many programs that support families in need should medicine temporary assistance to family in need and nutrition assistance have experienced steady funding cuts, if not outright budget cuts. The fact that these cuts have adversely affected families of color who are overpresent in the program due to barriers to economic opportunity in this country can be attributed to structural racism.
I agree with Mrs. April. Lack of funding is a contributing factor to maternal and infant mortality. Lack of funding to pay nurses or healthcare facilities is one of the reasons to handle childbirth on their own, so that they didn't get the proper handling.
Oh, take it easy, Mr. Aldes. You can find the raise hand button below your screen.
That is okay, Mr. Lucas. Anything else, anyone?
Me.
Just go ahead.
The, the fact is, even with proper funding, the graphic shows you that pregnancy-related deaths pregnancy-related deaths still continue to rise. In 2019, the mortality rate every 100,000 use is 20.1 and 17.4 in 2018. It was still recorded as the highest pregnancy-related death if compared to other countries.
Okay, well done, Mrs. Vivin. We need to remind you that the US has spent $543 billion on research and development in the medical field. This means there is a real effort to suppress maternal mortality. Whether it is the healthcare workforce, improving healthcare facilities, even medical research.
And we want to point out the commit focuses on preventing maternal mortality by making sure that health facilities are accountable for everyone, which means it's safe to say that the availability of healthcare facilities is guaranteed.
Objection: ensuring the availability of healthcare facilities is one way to make sure maternal mortality could be suppressed. But the problem is not the availability of healthcare facilities, but the availability of the healthcare workforce, such as doctors, specialists, and nurses. Controlling the healthcare availability doesn't always mean the healthcare workforce is available.
You might turn your mic on, Mr. Aldes.
Even with the availability of experienced doctors, it's not still a solution for this problem. Because for pregnant women who have limited access, there are a lot of doctors who refuse to meet the patient if they're not under any insurance or are unable to pay for the extra charge. This leads to limited access to proper treatment, and it becomes the cause of maternal mortality.
I agree with Mr. Aldes. In the case, there are a lot of negative influence. Some of the economic financing is getting heavier from time to time. The food sector, health, and education. With these, parents should have enough saving and proper planning before deciding to have a child.
Sorry, but just like Ms. April said recently, education for women and other family members is a critical solution for this issue. This is due to lack of awareness, family support, or spouse is important in order to acknowledge an anomaly during pregnancy. By acknowledging the anomaly, maternal mortality can be prevented.
I'm sorry, but what about our medical technology? I haven't heard about it since the beginning of this meeting. I just thought that there must be a contributing factor to these issues.
Okay, I believe the US always seek for improvement in medical technology. In fact, just like we mentioned before, we are focused on improving healthcare facilities, including the medical technology, human research, and to education. We find that our medical technology is more than just proper. We are glad that we get an outstanding response from all the meeting attendants today.
Right now, education is at the top of our list. We underlined the data that Ms. Vivin provided recently. That funding is not necessarily a problem. Based on our meeting today, we could conclude the following points. We have written them down. With this, we need to start to work on campaign to improve situational awareness and reducing systematic racism in the healthcare workforce, while we still have to make sure both healthcare facilities and workforce are accountable for everyone.
Okay, so is there anything else?
I think it's enough.
That's enough for now, but anyway, we still have to keep both of our eyes wide open.
Yes, of course. That's one thing for sure.
I hope this issue could be solved. Remember all these innocent moms who died due to pregnancy-related issues.
We are hoping for the same thing. I believe the US government and CDC will try their best to eliminate this issue.
And I would love to say a lot of thank you for your attendance and participations in this meeting. I really hope that we can support each other in order to eliminate this issue. Before we dismiss this meeting, I want to make sure if there's anything else.
No, sir.
Alright.
No,
Okay.
sir.
With this, I am declaring that this meeting is dismissed. Once again, thank you for your participation. Your suggestion means a lot to us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good